My name's Shannon Bauwens. I'm from Bunya People's Aboriginal Corporation, and we're in the Bunya Mountains right now. And in particular, we're in a little infrastructure footprint that's been designated for us to be able to share some of our culture and story with the wider community. What we're looking at here is the Genestreams project, and what it does, it describes both Indigenous and Western scientific perspectives on deep time. So, well, it's essentially a time scale in this sculpture, and on the outside, as you can see, there's lots of different Indigenous arts and depicting flora and fauna that exists within this region and on the Bunya Mountains in particular. The inside is from the Western science perspective, and as you can see, it's color coded, which helps when you navigate the space. So this is the second installation that have been installed around the nation in strategic cultural landscape places that have been identified to be quite significant. Going back to the color coordination, this is symbolic. This is the brown, and it's symbolic of where mankind walks into the space. And if you look on the ground, it has the different time periods and where different flora and fauna came into this timeline, and there's a whole great deal of detail, and I've been in here dozens of times, and every single time I come in here I find something new. At the top of each panel, it has the land masses that existed within that particular time period. There's so much information here. It's a really great learning tool, and I think most visitors find it fascinating to spend time around this piece. Okay, so what we're looking at here, and I can talk on behalf of the artist. He's not here, and he's actually my son. This is depicting the Indigenous land use or land management practices that we employed for thousands of years. As you can see up the top, this is when the country's on fire, and then this is when it's been blacked out. So it's a series of different times, and you'll see some of the green pictures left for the wallaby tracks. The wallabies still will always leave a bit of green pick for them. We're not burning for 100% burn rate. We do leave little bits of habitat for animals to be able to exist and retreat to. This is when it's come back, and it always comes back bright green for all those people who've ever seen blacked out country. It always helps stimulate new growth, and it's a very interesting piece. There's actually bluegrass, which is endemic to the mountains itself, that's depicted in here as well. Yeah, I really like this piece. It's actually showing a very interesting relationship that occurs in not only rainforest but all forests, and it's something that science is just starting to really get a grasp of. It's depicting the Mycelium, that it's a network that spreads throughout underneath the ground, and some people now refer to it as a World Wide Web, which is a bit of a tongue twister, but it's a very interesting relationship that they now learn that via this network that plants can detect threats that may come into the forest and send out a signal warning the rest of the forest. And it also has shown that trees have the ability to identify their young and their grandchildren, etc., and if need be, able to send nutrients via this network. It's a very interesting piece, I think. This one here is from another artist who's done the Bunya sun skink, which was largely unknown to science until the late 90s, early 2000s. The Bunya sun skink only occurs on the grass, the high altitude grasslands which occur on the Bunyas. This one is depicting what's commonly known as the Lacebark Tree, which is a beautiful tree that exists within these rainforests. Actually has really big purple flowers which fall and are a great contrast to the green of the rainforest. It's actually spectacular. It's Brachiochiton, which is related to the Queensland bottle tree, and these seeds can actually be eaten. They're edible and have a flavor of like a coffee popcorn flavor. Yeah, very nice tree. It's actually a brachiochiton discolor, not to be confused with that color. This is a piece depicting the black-breasted button quail, which is hard to say very fast 10 times. The black-breasted button quail is actually a threatened species, and they're very elusive. They're very hard to spot live, but you can, as you see here, you can find these little disc platelets, they're called, that they leave behind from their scratchings in the dirt. So you may not see the quail itself, but you might find these, which then let you know that they're present in that particular area.